Hi guys. So this is our fourth,
Yes.
our fourth merger vlog, whatever you want to call it. And it's in response to a podcast that Anthony did earlier about the drinking age in the United States.
Yes, which is actually a big problem because people are stupid, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. So basically anybody that lives in the United States knows that it's 21.
Exactly, and I have to say I agree with it right now.
Um I'm kind of skewed about it, really.
Well, okay, here's the thing. For everyone who doesn't know, the U.S. has the highest drinking age. I think we're the only people who have the age as high as 21. I think someone else like 20, and then provinces in Canada are 19, and then there's like 18 in like Montreal, and then there's like it gets lower and lower.
Yeah, I think it's like 16 in like
Italy or something.
Spain or Portugal or Italy, something like that. One of
But
the
you know,
European countries.
yeah. The European cultures, like they grow up around wine and stuff like that, so it's like. But to be honest with you, I think I think it's stupid to an extent, but I think it's too late to change it.
I think at this point it's part of our culture. Kind of the way in Europe it's part of their culture to have the age so young.
Exactly. Like I completely 100% agree that the drinking age should not be lower than 18 because it's proven that our brains are not developed completely until at least 18, and alcohol can damage development.
Exactly.
But like we were saying, us being 21, I agree with it only because I have to. Like I said in my podcast, if we were to change the age, there'd be a problem.
But I don't know, here's the other thing too. Like, you say you'd have all these people going out and partying and getting super drunk, but they're going to do it anyway.
Well, they're doing it now it's because the law is already there and the law is ridiculous, and so it's a taboo. So they're gonna do it and sneak around and get shit faced and excuse my language and get like alcohol poisoning, hit people drunk. But that happens right now. So we know it's already a problem. It happens. We know this right now. And
Exactly.
people can argue that it's the age, and I think it's the age. I think it is. I agree. But if we change the age to 18 after all of this, more people are now open to it. Like I think after a while it calmed down, but for a period of time, that the newness of it, people are gonna go, oh my god, we can now legally buy alcohol. So it's gonna be like great. Like, you're gonna be able to get it, and so I think it's just the partying's gonna go up, and it's going to be more dangerous. And I understand that it's dangerous now, like it being so high. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Right. But isn't there, I could have sworn that there's a way, like some type of law, where they can make it so that, kind of like with the driving age, I think that when they made the driving age higher, there was, if you were already, I can't, I'm really trying really hard to remember,
The
but they,
grandfather thing.
yeah, but I think that they can do it like reverse so that if you are already like, say you're 19 and they lower the age to 18, you still have to wait till you're 21.
But see, then there'd be a problem with like uprising and
True.
people screaming about it. And I understand what you're saying, because then like the people who are already under 18 it wouldn't matter for them because they wouldn't be able to buy anyway until 18, so they aren't really like rebelling yet.
Right.
But then we'd have the problem with the people who are like, oh, well, that's unfair. We're old enough technically, but I know what you're trying to say. So, like, I mean, the idea alone is good, but like, it wouldn't work.
It's just an ideal.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, you drank before, I drank before. We're both not 21, but we're also responsible people.
Right. I,
it has to do with responsibility.
right. I think if you're underage, you're gonna drink, just make sure that you have somebody that's going to stay sober.
Or just do it at home.
Even when you're doing it at home, make sure that there's one person that's going to stay sober. because if
Or know your limits. Oh my God, people, please, you're not drinking machines.
I know.
Alcohol can kill you without even leaving the house.
That's why it's like, that's why I think it's safer to have at least one sober person, because if they see Bobby, you know,
like drinking out of like the bottle of vodka.
Exactly, like drinking straight from the bottle, you know, sober person like Joe is gonna be like, oh well,
Smack, smack, stop it.
Exactly. Do you want to die tonight or something?
Exactly,
something like that. Like, I've only drank once. I gotta lower my voice because there's people upstairs. But I've only drank once twice. And the first time I had like 2 things and it was disgusting and I didn't like it and I was like, whatever, I'm too young to be doing this anyway. So I stayed the sober one. And every time after that I was the sober one. And I don't think I've ever been drunk, like seriously.
I want to please. That's something to be proud of. To be honest with you.
Yeah. No. I'm not like bashing not being drunk. I'm just saying I don't think I've ever.
Oh, exactly. I know exactly what you're saying, but like, I don't know. It's just like I drink more than you have. I'm not gonna lie. I don't do it every single weekend. Like everyone I know does. I think seriously, if I had to like count the times in my lifetime, and I'm 20, I think I've done it 5 times.
Right.
And when you think about it, in the time period I do it in, it's like once every 5 months.
Yeah, that's nothing. But like.
Yeah, but then like I'm saying, people like us are like every day drinking. It's like it's awful.
I know people like that, and it is bad. It's you think you're invincible because you're young, and it's not true. And I don't know. I'm gonna go off into a whole nother different rant if we go there. So.
Oh, no worries. I've had people sent to the hospital to get like their stomach pumped. My family included.
Yeah, it's
scary.
Yeah, it really is. When I was younger, my cousin had her kids really young, so she had her first kid when I was like, I think I was 10. Yeah, I was 10, and she was only 19.
Yeah.
20. She was like right on the verge of turning 20 or whatever. So she was my age when she had her first kid, and I'm telling you, don't do it, people, because hello. Anyway, so she never hit the drinking age until her son was already like 2 years old. So I remember being at her house and babysitting, and she'd be out in the back at her gazebo or whatever, getting completely smashed. And I remember one time that her son was in bed and I was up. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning and she was still out in the back. And I'm like, at the time I was 12 years old. So I'm like, ugh, like I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. But I didn't want to go to sleep until I knew she was in the house because I didn't know what she was doing or who she was with or anything. I knew she was in the backyard. But I was still kind of freaking out because that's what I do. So she comes in the house and trips over nothing. There was nothing there on the floor for her to trip on.
There doesn't have to be anything there.
I know. So she trips, like nearly falls, lands, like I kind of like jumped and grabbed her arm. And then she's like, I have to get to the bathroom. So like I lead her to the bathroom, which is, her house is like a maze. So I had to twist and turn her through all these corners and stuff. So finally she gets to the bathroom and she walks in the door and trips and smashes her face on the tub.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, freaking out. I'm 12 years old. Like, I'm not supposed to be doing
like, irresponsible right there. Like, first of all, do it when you know, like, if you're gonna do it, send your children to someone's house. Like, your parents' house.
Right. But,
and secondly, if you're gonna have someone babysit, do not get that bad, because you know what? The person like you, who's 12 years old, does not have to go through that. That's unfair to you.
Exactly. We're coming
How long are we going on?
It's, right now we're at 9:50.
Oh, yeah, stop now.
Yeah, do you want to cut it and we can start a new one?
Yep.